Welcome to Insight into Injury. Today we're going to talk about how to prevent a neck strain. You might think that neck strains just happen with lifting. Overhead lifting is pretty typical, but neck strains can happen anytime that you're in one position too long with bad posture. Carrie's here with us today, and we're going to go over some exercises to talk about how to prevent a neck strain. The first exercise we're going to do is called a chin tuck, because you're going to be tucking your chin back in. From the side view, you want to make sure that your chin isn't going in front of your nose. That's kind of how we sit if we're driving or if you're reading a book and you're really trying to concentrate. You want to make sure that your chin is back, but keep it level and feel as though you're getting really tall right there. Yes. And now as you're bringing your head back in this position, you may be feeling a stretching sensation along the back of your neck muscles. That's just what you should be feeling. Sometimes if you're really tight, you're going to also feel them in the front. Totally normal. That's okay. And you want to hold that position. It feels really awkward. Most of the time people don't like this because they're feeling like they got a double chin. Just stick with it. You don't have to walk around like this. If this is 100% of your available motion, good posture probably rests at about 85%. So you would practice your exercise all the way to the end, 5 seconds, and release. And that release isn't an exaggeration back into that I'm slouched, I can't see what I'm trying to read kind of posture, but it's just maybe going from that 100% back to that 85%, whereas good posture is best seen. So here we are doing 5 of these. If you're sitting in your car and you're noticing that you've been slouching because you couldn't see that red light from underneath your dash, wait till that red light and do 5 of these. Maybe raise up your rear view mirror a little bit at the same time, because then that'll remind you to be staying up a little straighter. Once we get this position right, then we can go into do some other stretches. It's always good whenever you're doing stretches to start with good posture to begin with. So Carrie, the next exercise we'll do is to stretch the muscles along the side of your neck by starting in that 85% range chin tuck. Tip your head towards me here. Use your right hand to grab up top to the right side of your head. Other one.
Oh,
there you go.
other right.
Other right. And as she's pulling over, she should be feeling a stretch along this side, all the way down to her shoulder, up to the back of her ear. To intensify this stretch a little bit, Carrie, you can take your left hand, put it behind your back, kind of in the small of your back, and that kind of brings on a little bit stronger of a stretch there. Neck muscles aren't big. We're not going big here with a big stretch. You want to have just a gentle feeling. And 10 to 20 seconds does the trick. Let's switch over to the other side. Good. And as she pulls over there, and you just want to make sure that as you put any kind of pressure on your head, you want to be real careful that you're in that good chin tuck posture too. And that changes where you feel it a little bit, and a little bit different muscle. You'll find that that's probably a little bit tighter than the muscle that you thought you were stretching that was tight to begin with. So that's good. There's a slight variation to this exercise too. We're going to stay in the same position. You can even stay going to that same side, but this time, Carrie, without the pressure on your head here for a second, look down as though you're looking into your pockets. And now put the pressure back on your head and give a gentle tug this way, still with your arm behind your back. And now the stretch is going to change a little bit down towards your shoulder blade and into your upper back. It still kind of runs up to the back of your head behind your ear too. A gentle stretch, 10 to 20 seconds. Switch sides. It's a little awkward to switch sides. You're like, wait, which hand, which leg, which arm? So that's good. You're looking down now into your right pocket, putting a little bit of overpressure here, hand behind your back just to kind of counter that stretch. What you don't want to do is pull your head over, and next thing you know, you're leaning over. You want to stay upright just as Carrie's doing, and that hand behind your back kind of helps that a little too. Okay, next stretch looks like this. You're going to get both your hands together, and you can do this exercise standing or sitting. And basically you want to think once you get those arms together, you're pulling your body forward, kind of rounds your shoulders out here, tuck your head down, and maybe even lean a little bit forward. You should be feeling that stretch kind of swoop around the back of your shoulders and along the back of your head, maybe even down into your triceps, depending on how tight you are. Just for a little fun, Carrie, you swing your arms a little bit towards me, swing them a little to the left, and you can kind of change that angle. When she swings right, she feels it on the left. When she swings left, she feels it on the right. And that exercise can kind of open up those shoulder blade muscles. Next one, we're going to do the exact opposite. Grab your hands behind your back, clasp them together, sit up straight to begin with, squeeze your shoulder blades back, and then if you can, lift your arms up and away from your body. And as you lift your arms up, you're going to feel your body naturally want to tip forward. It's more important to fight that rather than worry about how high you can actually lift your arms. Some people won't even be able to lift their arms at all away from their back, and that's fine. Do what you can. We're looking for a stretch here in the front of your shoulders, A slight look up is also good because then you can get the stretch in the front of your neck as well. Great. All right, so now we might be starting to feel a little bit looser. Now we have a strengthening exercise. So we've been working on stretching the muscles here at the top part of your shoulders. There's a muscle that connects to the bottom part of your shoulder blade, and we want to strengthen that one so that you don't have a tendency to be sitting like this. A lot of times when people are stressed, they scrunch up their neck, and no tortugas, no turtles here. So place your hands, Carrie, please, with your fists by your sides. Now everyone's arms are a little bit different length in relationship to their body. You might find that you've got to bring like a couple beach towels over and hold them underneath you, or if your arms are longer, then you would use your hands flat by your sides too. Start with your fists and see where that goes. That's average. Carry from here, squeeze your shoulder blades back together. Yes, so already you should be feeling a little bit of a stretch across the front of your shoulders. And now to intensify this exercise and get the strengthening component, lift yourself up a little. You're not going to really move, but you'll feel additional muscles in the back of your body towards your shoulder blades clenching as you try to kind of rocket ship yourself up, pressing off of your hands to get that launch. This exercise is good when it's done isometrically. You can just hold it for 5 seconds and then rest. And then repeat. And just make sure as you repeat, and even as you're holding it up there, if you start getting tired, your shoulders are going to want to go forward. Really try to squeeze and keep those shoulders back as far as you can. Yes, and you might even feel a little bit of shaking, like, ooh, those muscles haven't worked much. These aren't often worked, but they're very important when it comes to being able to lift something with your arm. If those muscles aren't pulling down to kind of help stabilize, you're going to end up overusing your neck muscles, which leads to neck pain. We're going to finish up here with one more stretch. We're going to check you out here if you remember how to do that chin tuck. So slide your head back, be up nice and tall. And from that tall position, swivel your head around, look to the left, look to the right. And as she's turning here, you can see even the accentuation of this muscle popping out. You're going to feeling a little stretch on that side and the other side as you're rotating. A 5 to 10 second stretch in each direction would do the trick. And the most important part here is that you keep your head up really tall in that chin tuck. It's more than a stretch, it's more like we're training it. We're giving a little muscle memory. So you're doing your head motions. If you're driving in your car and you got to look over your shoulder, you don't want to fling your head out and duck your head and get back into that chin forward position. So by training it here with a few stretches, you're going to feel some muscles working hard. It might seem like it's not as easy as it looks. But with a good flexible neck and a few strong muscles in your upper back, and you're on your way to preventing a neck strain, which is what I really hope for you. So thanks, Carrie, for helping out.